We gotta turn it off, okay? Yeah, we gotta turn it off, man. Hold on, we gotta turn it off. Let's go turn the mushroom soup off. Take you guys for a little walk. The music's playing. I'll show you all something. This is my third as far as eating no meat. Actually, I had sardines yesterday because it was the last can. And this is when the sardines were real. It only comes with like 3 or 4 sardines in it. So let's turn this around. All right. See this right here? This is what you call potato. Red potato, very small and purple, red and purple potato. Mushroom, onion, tomato, basil. I gotta get some fresh parsley. I don't want to use the dry parsley I have. A little bit of red chili flakes. No garlic, no garlic. We don't do no garlic no more. It's got a little bit of curry in there, about 3 different curries. It's got some clove. I take cloves right here and I put it in a mortar and I grind it down to make my own powder. All right. We got little cloves in there, and we always have to have a little coriander. Now, coriander could be used in meat and stuff, but it's also good for stews, as well as a little bit of sage. We're going to put a little bit more sage in there, just a little bit. I got to have your bitters. About a teaspoon. So it's about 2 teaspoons now. And you salt to taste afterwards. And you can see the rosemary in there, which is absolutely phenomenal in here. The smell is just beyond copious. So we're going to leave that on low for about another 25 minutes. Okay? And she'll be ready for about my 3 or 4 o'clock meal. Okay? I know, this is what I do, right? I gotta wash a couple of dishes in here from yesterday. Usually I don't leave them in, but you know how it is. And that's potato mushroom stew. Some would say, well, that's a soup. I mean, that's a soup. It is not a soup. For those who actually are chefs and they cook. Yeah. So I hope nobody got out there and got drunk last night and messed with their harmony and their balance. Now, if you're going to drink, stay away from the white liquor, which is actually the best liquor for you. All right. But if you don't want to disrupt your frequency, your vibrations, make sure you're drinking at least a $200 bottle of rye or scotch or Ripple. I'm serious. I might have to make a second one. I made that at 4:30 this morning. I've been up since then. Isn't that right, Al? He's been real jumpy, and I know exactly why, but it is what it is. So, grand rising and elevations. May your ascension be true. Hold on. There we go. Excuse me. It's raining. Want me to open the window for you, Papa? Let's open the window, okay? Let's open the window. Let's open the window. It's raining, so it's a lot of death coming down, but you can't hide from it. This is not ergonomically sealed anyway, so it's a little cool. All right? You can jump up in the window, Papa. Go. We'll only get open for about an hour. All right? Okay. Let me put on my thinking cap. Okay. So there's some more people coming on in, and I'll shout you guys out, okay? So I'll raise this a little bit. I didn't weigh myself this AM, so the so-called AM, which is not the AM, people. But that's a whole nother topic. We can have that discussion later. I'm going to pull a chart up for you guys. This chart is based, let's say, from 1882 to 1968. This is Statista for anybody like who really deep. I know Timonius and a few other people who watch the channel are really starting to do a lot of research, and they pull up great information. But you must always remember that there is a lot more information. The thing is, well, do what you got to do to attain the. Appreciate that, Marcus William. Appreciate that donation. Do what you got to do to attain a peripheral of being able to put things together. I can never make that happen for you, but you're picking it up because I'm always saying puzzle pieces. I'm using words that connote that kind of canoodle and connotate something else that allow you to have your own perception and perceive things differently. So if I say puzzle pieces, many different books, you start realizing that it's not an entrapment, that it's not something that's glorification or over glorification or under glorification. It's something that has to be done. You know, Mike Tyson, he had a great saying that was passed down, especially by Muhammad Ali, boxing camp in Pennsylvania. We never want to do the hardest thing, but when you do the hardest thing, you realize this is how I made it, because it fitted me in the martial arts. And the military, martial arts and military, it fitted me. It's hard. I don't want to do it, but I do it, and then I reap the rewards. So if you want to win, you know I'm not into this competition thing. It's beneath me, and it should be beneath you, but you have to get into that different, that secular place of thinking. I don't want to get up. I don't want to go down them stairs. I have to, though. So if I'm so pragmatic and just making everything, what am I doing? Self-defeatism. So I get up regardless of that thought and I push it. You know, the thing is to get rid of it. You know, if I got to hit the heavy bag, I want to sit up there and get in the ring, but I never hit that. I'm not Tony Bones. You know, I'm not the guy who feels like he doesn't have to train, who's just a straight up bruiser. Yeah, I'm naturally strong, wars within us, but I have to hit the heavy bag. I have to, or hit the tree. I have to, you know what I'm saying? I have to throw them jabs out. You know what I'm saying? I got to throw that and be able to, and still, even with a bad back, you know what I'm saying? I still got to be able to have that speed. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, how many people really want to get it? You know what I'm saying? So even though I don't want to do it, I'm making my business to get up. If I don't jump rope, you know, moving. You see what I'm saying? Just to make sure it's there. I let people do all the talk, but me, I don't want to do it, but I got to walk. That's just one way. The other way is the same applied to books, to studying. So everybody's coming around and realizing it. So this is one platform. I said all that because some people have to hear it different ways. Remember, you don't control the narrative, neither do I. But I do control this. books here I want to read. So this is going to surprise y'all. How many of y'all looked into the fact of there's many pale skins with with the birth certificate that had, well, there which girl has black or Negro? How many of y'all looked into it and found it? I see a lot of people pull my information up from TikTok, this, that, and other, and that's a beautiful thing. But the thing is, how many of y'all took the time to acquiesce to different platforms from Chrome, Google, DuckDuckGo? I mean, there's a whole plethora of them out there. Firefox, there's more than that. How many of y'all have utilized those platforms to pull up information that one or two Wikipedia might not have? See, I physically met these people. Because see, when I was in the military, I met a pale skin who hung with us all the time, and they kind of looked like us. And they blonde hair and kind of grayish green eyes. Man, this guy looked like a nigga. I mean, I was 20-something years old, kind of ignorant. This brother looked like a nigga, but everything we did, he did with us. Work out, he ain't want to be with them pale skin. One day we're in the shop, and Chief so-and-so says, young brother right here, because we was all melanated, except for one person. Right? And he was just with us anyway. He was a ride or die from Louisiana. So anyway, he came in there, and I remember my little Italian friend, half Sicilian, Italian, whatever, and Nick, you know, us from Chicago. He like, yo, I'm telling y'all, he a nigga. Chicago guys cracked me up. Anyway, he had his stuff, and it said Negroid. Actually, his said Negroid, when most of everybody else says Negro, something like that. We was dumbfounded, and I said, and so he was the first one that took me to the encampment, the trailer park, all right, in Duval County. I had a crack problem was one thing. Them pale skins running around with big booties. I didn't even understand it. And we're hanging out with his family, and they're getting all the pictures and everything down. And I'm like, okay, so where the pale skins? He says, most of our family back then wasn't pale skin. We was born in this. Right then and there, that's when I ended up going to Georgia. That's before it became Gatorized, right? That's to show you how the control certain people have over. I'm not here to knock LGBABC.QITVWXYZ. Look, what I'm saying is, when I went to Georgia, I met more. And it's like they have a little community. And then they showed me the relatives who at 16 or 18 have this choice, or 18 when they get married, to change that to white, which is a status. How many of you have all done the research? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what's going on, Oak, Rondo, Marcus, Snoo, baby? Original Lone Wolf, Margaritas. What's going on, beloveds? I figured I'd say that one time. This is, I was going to go on to 5:15, and I says, you know what? Let me do this because I want to make sure that everybody's healthy. That you didn't go out and jack yourself off last night mentally and tear yourself up physically. That robs you spiritually or sourcefully, okay? So Statista is one out of about 20 that I've utilized. So I come back to this one mostly, okay? Because I find it more fitting, okay? And it's on my home screen. Number of executions by lynching in the United States by state and race between 1882 and 1968. Now, I want you to be the Diluvian of the narrative of why would they? Now, the picture that these monkeys would paint, parasites or whatever you want to call them, I call them monkeys. Anyway, is that it was to stop race and all that. That's only a handful. All right, those are allowed sacrifices like cannon fodder. No, that's not the case. That's the picture they paint. So we have Mississippi, okay? Now, by numbers, it says Mississippi was 42 white and 539 black. I'm just going to run down the list. Georgia, 39 white, 492 black. Now, you got to put this in comforts of the cities and blocks destroyed, the homes taken over. Because you got to remember, it's 1882 to 1968. This is when we lost most of our wealth. 1942, we had over 4 to 5 million acres of farming land. Nobody else was doing it but us. Listen. All right, Texas, 141 white and 352 black. Now you got to remember those white orthodox people considered on the basis of status based on the turning over the hand changing of 1875 from those fake Jews who are here now, who weren't even Zionists at the time, who assassinated King Lincoln Khan, who made an underhand deal trade-off to which was merciless. Okay, Louisiana, 56 white, 335 black. We know that is not as correct. Now, Alabama, shockingly, 48 white, 299 black. Who's writing down the numbers? So I want you to add these up. Florida, 25 white, 257 black. Now, the crayon colors, we can move beyond it because y'all are well aware. I don't have to speak on that. I don't have to allude to that. Tennessee, 47 pale skins, 204 melanated, dark melanated. Kentucky, 63 of our pale skinned brothers and 142 Negroes are melanated. Now, when we get down to South Carolina, we look at the infusion of betrayal, but we don't get, this is not for that platform. 4 white and 156 melanated. Now, Missouri, 53 pale skins, 69 melanated. Well, this is pretty up to date, people. Oklahoma, 82 pale skin, 40 melanated. The riots, people. You think I'm kidding? Are you aware that many pale skins fought right beside us to keep the city because they were running businesses with us? They were family. Oh, that's right. They're not going to tell you that because they need separation. They need dummies. Oh, I'm not going to mention the Native Americans who have our bloodline in them because that's in there too if you want to expand. Oh, yeah, it's in there. And the Chinese. You could do that on your own. North Carolina, 15 pale skin, 86 less melanated, and 86 very melanated. Okay? It's not about hate. It's cutting past all the lines. Virginia, 17 compared to 83. Now, this is not a competition. There's 17 pale skins and 83 dark skins, okay? Virginia, I want to get away from the race and the colorization because it's something we must destroy. And you have to do that first eternally before you can even bring it out to the surface. Because some of you be talking, but it's in you and the hate is there and it's ignorance. It will never allow you to ascend. Okay. So Virginia, we see we have 17 and white and 83, right? And check this out. Montana, 82 pale skins, 2 melanated. I'm not done. You think this is a game? All right. Colorado, 65 pale skin, 3 melanated. Nebraska, 52 pale skins, 5 melanated. Kansas, 35 pale skins, 19 melanated. Virginia, West Virginia, mindful. 20 pale skins, 28 melanated. They fought together and they stopped the lynchings at that time. They were lynched, but they joined and stopped that fake clan created by the fake Jews. I'm not going to bite my tongue. That's what they are. If they weren't, I would say otherwise. Indiana, 33 pale skin, 14 dark melanated. California, 41 pale skins, 2 melanated. This is not made up. New Mexico, 33 pale skins, 3 melanated. Now, Illinois, for all purposes, y'all know a president who was murdered there, right? Anyway, pale skin 15 and melanated 19. Who was that, Coolidge? Was he was it in Colorado? Where was he murdered at? Anyway, I forget. I might be wrong on that. I don't like getting into talking about the so-called presidents that were assassinated because, you know, power can hit person if they don't want to do the job and they love life and they believe they got in a place and they're safe. The enemy in small numbers can still attack you and kill you and sacrifice themselves. All right, Arizona, 31 pale skins, no melanated. Wherever lynched. Maryland. Y'all gonna crack up with this one. 2 only pale skin and 27 melanated. Now we go to South Dakota. 27 worked the farmlands. These weren't pale skins. It says white and 0 melanated. Those were our brothers and sisters, people, who struck out to keep things moving for the families. Let's go over to here, Ohio. 10 pale skins, 16 melanated. Washington, Washington, 25 pale skins, 1 melanated. No, it wasn't us lynching them. No, we lynched we killed a whole lot of folk. Don't get it twisted. Beyond 68, y'all just don't know that, because if they give you that and everybody else, everybody walks, so you wouldn't have these fake ass Native Americans trying to, with their small numbers, antagonizing you and this, that, and the other, while y'all arguing with them all ignorantly. I told you to stop arguing with them. If you don't have your facts together and don't know what to say, do not, especially when the resources and references, you can lay in front of them and say, well, you have that. I really don't care how you feel. You know, yeah, we always been on this mug. Yeah, wobble. We always been on here, on this. You know, whatever they want to say with their little goofy selves. And then the Peckerwoods, you know, coming with their little hidden things talking about N, and then putting the other one, putting the I, like they want to spell out something, not knowing, alluding to the fact, shows that they're not from this land, because they would have known what the Naga mean. And they don't know what it means. So that means they've been raised in a lie, and it's pursuant to their ignorance. So we're going to leave it at that. I'm not one they want to argue with, but they're too stupid to know that. So let's go to Idaho, right? 20 pale skins, 0 melanated. Iowa, 17 pale skins, 2 melanated. When I told you that the first war was integrated, people had a hard time. So I pulled up a whole lot of pictures of the trenches and we were fighting side by side. It wasn't just Canada. That needs to keep. They need to keep the vision, especially with the most arrogant of ignorant ones, my pale skin brothers and sisters. And now our people have taken on that banter. We're not going to talk about so-called Spanish Arabs and all them Chinese and all these dumbasses, because they're still, even their own people are still harming them. So, you know, if they want to stay there, they always welcome to the family. Welcome to the tribe. But if they want to stay consistent in their own debacle and destruction, stay right there. We don't care about you. We have no time to worry for itself. It can do its own. Now, Minnesota, 5 pale skins, 4 melanated. Michigan, 7 pale skins, 1 melanated. Pennsylvania, 2 pale skins, 6 melanated. Utah, our land, dead ass, all of it actually. We belong to it, and it is Utah. It is not Utah. That's what they've done with everything, like Chicago, which was Shalaga. What is Shalaga based upon? A dark color, right? Anyway, like Scotland and Ireland. Anyway, burnt earth or scorched people. Anyway, however you want to put it. Utah, 6 pale skins, again, 2 melanated. Wisconsin, 6 pale skins, 0 melanated. We're not talking about right now in this fake 21st or 20th. We're talking about 18 to 1986, okay? Nevada, 6 pale skins, no Negroes. New Jersey, no, 1 pale skin, 1 Negro. New York, well, you can't talk about the ones that came down and were murdered in Tennessee. We're not talking about them. Or Alabama. 1 pale skin, 1 Negro, or melanated. Okay, Delaware was 1 melanated. Maine was 1 pale skin. I even read about that. It's actually in the book. And in Vermont. Excuse me. Now you can go and look at all the other ones. Now Mississippi, Georgia, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina, Missouri, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Virginia. We killed a lot of white pale skins there, but we didn't lynch them. The ones that were fighting us, we murked a whole lot of them. Until the war, even after the war was considered ending, that's why a lot of us are still there. Those are the places that you see as far as South, so-called the South, the 86 parallel and those areas, to which our numbers are still the greatest. Even right now, with them bringing all these so-called Spanish, when it's mostly Arabs, Africans, this, that, and the other. A lot of Mexicans are Arabs. I know quite a few of them that was in New York. But we're talking about, yeah, Lebanese and Spanish. And okay, well, where's the indigenous in you? And but see, the thing is, they don't know about the original Spaniards and the original Lebanese. They don't even know the truth from the 1st, 2nd century of the wars of the fall of Tartary. Y'all think Tartary only lasted for a minute? You think they could build these great things that existed? And there's well over 20-something maps, and a few of them show you that all these places over there were here. Because we all mitigated. Though we stayed with our right and our positions of places. There were outside marriages. Well, not marriages. We didn't have that. There was unions and stuff. But we were one world that spoke one language. Now they're doing a perverse version of it. And most people have a hard time acquiescing this truth. Pull it up yourselves, people. Here, let me show you. Here. See this right here? Pull it up yourself, all right? Get your numbers, type in what you want to find, look at whatever you want to look as far as statistics go. I'm not saying it's 100%, but what I'm saying is, for what I've read, people I've talked to and had discussions with, everything's been made a lie. And then you have these fake Umar Johnsons, all these other goofy, worthless people. Now, I don't have to go too hard and using the N-word and all that, all right? And these, I don't care if you want to call them Zionists, whatever you want to call them, these parasitical fleas, these ticks, all right, who keep betraying everybody and keeping look at these monkeys in the correction facilities. They make sure they put the most abundantly dumb, unethical sociopaths in there. And then the ones who are halfway decent, who just want to get a job, they stay quiet because they fear for their little punk lives. They don't know what unification is and how to deal with certain things. We don't need no police. First of all, they're not there to serve and protect, as the Supreme Court has already stated. Section 8, Article 1. Why do people have a hard time with it? Now, me, fortunately, I trained a lot of guys who wanted to go to the police force, and that was a benefit, because they used to always say, yeah, I'm just training. I appreciate you working out with us, and getting us, better shape, blah, blah, blah. This is when I was, even with my back surgery and stuff, I was fluent. I mean, I became a Sabanam in 9 to 10 months in Taekwondo in my 40s. And I'm talking about thorough. I still practice forms. The ones I never learned, I watch guys do it on YouTube and I emulate because I already know all other forms. So yeah, I'm up to like a 6th Dan and with the forms. And then the application, yeah, I stand there and I already know what's going to work. I'm not choreographing. You can never choreograph. I'd rather somebody hit me, stick me, and then I react to it because I know what's going to come out of me. That's what I control. That's not being ambient to violence. That's just what I've ascertained for this, besides some other things. But regardless of that, it's important to invest in yourself. It's important to invest because the liar needs copious amounts of sickness and illness and diseases besides the ones they've created. Otherwise, people wouldn't be doing or running around as they are. Okay? I already explained, if you got the squeak, don't give it no strength. Don't worry about it, all right? The death touch, all right? Do the things that can better yourself. Grounding. They're poison because they hear it all the talk. It's not like they weren't hearing it in the 60s. They keep just spraying stuff in the air. But do you give that strength? Do you let that vector in who you are? I'm going to read a little bit out of Civilization 1. Man, I think I only got like 5 hours of sleep. I got what I was supposed to get last night. Let me stop saying that because that can make you feel ambient to being sick, and I don't want that. Okay? That's not what I didn't come all the way this far to get you here. We're not going to do no acknowledgments. Let me turn this music down a little bit. My apologies. Matter of fact, let's just stop it. Unnecessary. So this is Civilization 1. The world is not as you thought it was. Now this is well, Graham Hancock, a breakthrough book. The last 4,000 years are never going to look the same again. That's by Graham. That's one of his reviews. Christopher Knight, the co-author of the bestseller The Haram Key, and Alan Butler. I actually have that as well. So let's go ahead and look at the introduction here. It says the superculture. I want you to process this and look at it in a way that, um, you know, how can I say it? You can better represent self. Okay, that's how we utilize this stuff. Let's see, it's the lighting's acting up, the TV and the camera. I guess they're having a real good time playing with the pixels and all that. That's what the only thing they know how to do. If you can hear my voice, that's what matters. Was there a super advanced culture in prehistory? If not, how can it be that the supposedly unsophisticated people of Stone Age Britain possessed a fully integrated system of measurement based on a deep understanding of the solar system? Just listen though. The history of human development, from hunter-gatherer to city dwellers, once seemed comfortable and predictable. All the available evidence supported the accepted picture of a smooth social evolution largely driven by the ingenuity of people living in the Middle East. But then, over several decades, an eminent professor of engineering, Alexander Thom, Thom, annoyed the world of archaeology by making a startling claim. Now, you know, we have our brother Cook, Paul Cook, who's going around the world, as I did in the 80s. And he's looking at geothermal stone and all that other stuff and how to make granite. And it's, like I said, most of the buildings they tell you was carved out of great big stones was actually poured. And some left in transport based upon what was required or needed as times regressed. Anyway, he maintained that he had found that the structures left by late Stone Age man had been built using a standard unit of measure that was so precise that he could identify its central value to an accuracy that was less than the width of a human hair. Some of you can't even spackle that straight. At least even lay concrete. That's the truth. Okay. I like masonry, you know, concrete and mixing and all that. Anyway, he maintained that he found that the structures left by late Stone Age man had been built using a standard unit of measure that was so precise that he could identify its central value to an accuracy that was less than the width of a human hair. The idea that these simple people from prehistory could have achieved such accuracy flew in the face of all the worldview of most archaeologists. Not surprisingly, Thom's findings were almost universally dismissed as some kind of mistake. Now, Professor Thom called his discovered unit the megalithic yard, but he died in 1985 without ever being able to explain why people from the Neolithic period or late Stone Age, all lies, circa 3,500 BC, fraudulent year, might have been motivated to establish such a measure or how they could have consistently reproduced such incredible accuracy. Even today, there are many tens of thousands of these megalithic stone structures strewn across the British Isles and the western fringes of Europe. And here, our initial quest was simple. We wanted to find out if Thom really had found a prehistoric measure or if it had been diluted by the huge amount of data he collected from his surveying of sites from the islands of northern Scotland down to Brittany on the west coast of France. And listen to this, we reasoned that if Thom's megalithic yard was imaginary, it should be a meaningless value. But if it was indeed a genuine Neolithic measure, it should have some physical reality behind it and some kind of scientific means of reproduction. Now, the consequences of knowledge is one that intrigued me. Our investigation led us to a rediscovery of the science behind this prehistoric unit. We can now demonstrate both its mathematical origin and its means of reproduction using the mass and spin of the Earth. Look, ignorance all the way around. Don't think every Pelskin is part of the Illuminati and all these secret organizations, societies. It's not the case. They, if you would pay attention, are out to prove the existence of things they have no knowledge in. If you bring a people into this world and indoctrinate them through a system, delude them to make them think they're better than, and they have no knowledge of prehistory because they don't even know who they truly are. Okay? They're going to want to reach out and discover whatever they can. It's instinctive. Anyway, identifying a precise origin of Tham's megalithic yard. However, we soon found that we had nudged open the door of a virtual treasure chest of lost knowledge. Our approach is it lost, or have people just been subjugated not to know? You can allude to as being lost if you choose. Our approach has been to apply forensic techniques to archaeology across a span of cultures from prehistory before 3000, so-called BC, and the earliest times of written history after 3000 BC. If you have that 3000 BC stuff, you'll never go beyond that. You will only allude to like Christianity, 2000 years, blah, blah, blah. And it dismiss the deluge, the mud flood. You'll go that one flood, it was the greatest flood, and it gives you their God instead of you looking at yourself and everything else. It's able to paint a grotesque picture and keep you in this clandestine position of infringement and self-entitlement, foolish ideologies and narratives, and have you warring amongst each other. Okay, let's keep reading. I hope that broke that down for you. Our approach has been to apply forensic techniques to archaeology across a span of cultures from prehistory, before 3000, blah, 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 and the earliest times of written history after 3000, blah, 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 BS. We have found that there is a completely identifiable DNA associated with the oldest and purest system of science that appears in the most unexpected places, even units of measure that are believed to be relatively modern, from the pound and the pint to the gram and the liter, turn out to be thousands of years old and linked to the very dimensions of the solar so-called system. We know that's many Earths, and we know that it's implicated to their own ignorance, but we're not here to bash or beat them up, to make the correlations for correction, to acquiesce something else that gives a better demonstration based on the knowledge we've ascertained in our researches or previous to this. But this is an excellent read. We have tried to keep our story as short. I would rather hear them say attempt. Try is like better to failure. Attempt means you just do it again. But anyway, we have attempted to keep our story. That's what I would have stated. But we have tried to keep our story as short and as clear as possible. A basic knowledge of arithmetic is all that is required to follow our investigation in detail. So please have your calculator to hand, and if you wish to check our findings step by step. Now, additional information, frequently asked questions, and new developments are available on our website, and that's www.civilization1.com. And I already went and looked at it. I've already made some statements. If you feel comfortable with the old idea that human development was a smooth evolutionary journey from ignorant cavemen to urban sophisticate, be prepared to be shocked. The world is not what you thought it was. Now, I just wanted to read that as far as an introduction. And I read a few chapters, and we talk about the Great Wall of History and all that other stuff. I keep telling you that the history that they are spanning out between a certain group of individuals does not belong to them. Yet it belongs to everybody on the expanse of the entire earth. Whether it's in one of the other domes or another dome or whatever, it's all knowledge. You know, the reason why they don't want you to go past Antarctica, they don't want you to know, it's not even about the earth being flat, but they have become sadists. They have become a very warped and sick disease. And you still aren't getting it as I'm reading it to you. When I said full recall, I'm not just talking about, because you don't have it. I know it's hard for you to understand that, but you are starting to come into this. You're starting to realize it. You're starting to find things. And I said, share these things, but be mindful. We always want to give props to personnel who are very wayward and obscured. I've been doing this longer than anybody on YouTube. It's not bragging rights. It's not ego. It's the fact. I've been doing this for a very long time, from my youth. couldn't find anybody. It was hard in school that was going through and dealing with the same thing that I was dealing with and the things that I was permitted to see. I know that I've had many tests done on me. Let's go to the next one. Let me get right to the chapter. I'm not going to read the introduction over here because it's a little. Okay. I'll show you the book here in a minute. That smells so good. It smells like sausage, y'all. Anyway. I want to read the Foundations for the Future. And this is a must read for anyone who wants to know what's going on in this world today. By Dr. Tim LaHaye. This is a review. Dr. Tim LaHaye, best-selling co-author of the Left Behind series. Anyway, The End. Everything You'll Want to Know About the Apocalypse by Mark Hitchcock. Now, I just want to read a couple of things. I don't really get, because but puzzle pieces, baby steps. Everything is spread all over the place. Foundations for the Future. Have you ever driven down a strange dark road in a blinding rainstorm? Every minute you wish you could see beyond the edge of the headlights to see what's ahead. If only you could know what was coming next. Could intuitively know what's out there or predict what you'll find at the next bend in the road. We long to see ahead, to know, perhaps to avert disaster. Can someone see what's ahead by intuition or a special gift? Can a prophet know the future because the path of our lives is part of a larger drama scripted ahead of time? This is what the prophets of the Bible claim. Can we know where we are in that pattern of events foretold by prophets, written in scripture, or seen in apocalyptic visions of the future? In the uncertain storm of the days in which we live, all of us yearn to see beyond the headlights. But can we? Now, let me integrate some things here. So here he says, could intuitively know what's out there or predict what you'll find at the next bend in the road. What am I always stating? If you're on this narrow path and you're filling in your pothole and moving obstacles, you direct and control the narrative. This is suspenseful. This is the grab to initiate a response to be like, I am all enthralled. I need to read this, which it does. I allow it to, but I am more aware of things. Okay. So pay attention to when you're reading. Okay. Anyway, intuitive. Anyway, we long to see ahead. Who does? To know, perhaps to avert disaster. Disaster is part of the calamity of chaos. It only exists because certain individuals make it so. You must be dynamic and remove that and not allow yourself to be perverted by its constant reminder. So by me reading it, we take these things and we remove the fear factor. We remove the cowardice, the tribulation. We take away the power from the narrative and we reassert it in self, where it belongs. Can someone see what's ahead by intuition or a special gift? Why does it have to be a gift? Why can it not be just normal? How about the fact that you can acquiesce and you're capable and able of many things, but it's not for worry nor the canter or banter of problems and trouble? More chaos, huh? Can a prophet know the future because the path of our lives is part of a larger drama? Why does it have to be drama? If he's a prophet, is his directed to know what precedes us? That's not what prophets are. Prophets were always meant to bring you back to where you were supposed to be grounded, in order. Everybody's out of order. Ahead of time? Why do people why are people so stuck with a false time? Remember, they're aging you faster. They're poisoning and killing you off quicker because you're believing in their capability to do that. Even in the unknown, because you have not allowed yourself to be pragmatic in your existence. That means to stand, to tree hug, to speak with the sky, the grass, the flowers. Must I go on? This is what the prophets of the Bible claim. The bibliography, based on a certain group of individuals that has been perverted to create division and chaos and everything else, hate, manifestation, and distrust, to take out what is inside you and put it outside of you. Must I reverb that for you? Can we know where we are in the pattern of events foretold by prophets? The prophets were always expressing, do I need to pick one up and read it? Who you are and what you should be doing, for ye are gods. Your faith is yet but so little. What is faith? For God said, I will make the earth my footstool. Did he say he was going to be like he's doing in China and everything else and walking on some damn balls with some dogs? Or seen in apocalyptic visions of the future. If you're seeing destruction, then that is what you have asked. That's what you have assimilated to. You must remove the narrative. I gave you a real dream. I saw them begging for forgiveness. Can they do it again? It's always out of our hands. They have the choice they have right now. And they stay on it because they've been allowed. They have been allowed. They have been permitted to do what they're doing. In the uncertain storm of the days in which we live, mind you, all of us yearn to see beyond the headlights. Who does? I don't give a damn about tomorrow or the next tomorrow or the one after that. I care about you right now. How can I care about you tomorrow? If I care about you right now, isn't that implement to infinite? See what I'm saying? How they destroy and destruct, and they give you words that's silver, as with a gold tongue, but a silver speak. Instead of that into a mic was when they say silver tongue, that means amplified. Gold tongue means something that's attracts you, brings you in. That's what that does. And I just wanted to give that little and hope that some of you would be able to acquiesce something different. Well, we're going to read this book, not now. We're going to read Civilization 1, but not now. Okay? I just wanted to come on this AM because I know it's easy for us to buy into this Friday nonsense, weekly nonsense, 7-day nonsense, just like we buy into a birthday, what's your sign, what month, what year, when these things shouldn't matter. You're here. The system created it to be a deluge of flooding you, to drown you, to make you capitulate, to pervert you, to sign you off from reality and superimpose a reality upon you. Am I making any sense? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, and I'll see you guys at 5:15. I hope you have many questions. Somebody had asked something, and you can bring that up on the podcast, and we'll address it. Okay, but I want to remind you. I hope it's beneficial to your existence. Whatever you impose, if it's argumentative about little dumb things going on in the world, I'll silence your mic and tell you forgot what it's really about. It's not about control. I have control. The issue is many don't. And we're stuck with our heads so far our behinds and other people's behinds that we cannot smell the fresh air, see the earth for its true beauty, and enact that upon us because we have allowed the rental space of all the ugly and the perversions. I don't have no hope for those individuals. They have to have hope for themselves. I see them as the construct that they have been made to be. But if they are willing to listen and hear something that will allow them to change, because like I said, I'm not here to hold your fucking hands. I'm not here to walk you through the prairie. And no, you need to follow in your own footsteps and pay attention to those who went before you. The problem is most people don't know the truth of those who went before them. And sometimes they don't know the truth of those who are going before them right now. Okay? So who else came in here? Hey, 7 grams, what's up, love? What's happening? What's happening? A lot of people don't like to speak up. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Appreciate y'all coming in. Share this. For some of you, it made sense. And for some of you, are still probably doing this. It's all right. Either way. All right? Beloved sisters, my brothers, till 5:15. I got to go down here and stir this up. It's almost ready.